This ABC 15 News Update is sponsored by Sanderson Ford, America's best-selling Ford dealership.
I'm Katie Ramel with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. Buckets of heads, arms, and legs. 5 years after the FBI raided an Arizona body donation facility, opening statements in the civil case involving families who donated their loved ones' remains and claim the facility mishandled them. The lawsuit claims the Biological Resource Center of Arizona sold body parts to third parties, and in some cases they were used in military testing. Families in court claim they thought BRC was providing the remains for medical research, not to be sectioned off and sold for profit. In court, one woman says she feels terrible and guilty for allowing her father's remains to go to that facility.
My father's body was cut up into pieces and sold. I mean, there's just no... It's the most inhumane, despicable, evil thing a human being can do to another human being.
An attorney for BRC and its owner, Stephen Gore, argue the facility did nothing illegal in obtaining fees for its services, and the donors and families all signed consent forms that spelled out what could happen. The defense also says donors could have asked questions if they had any concerns. Some new details from Rocky Point, where a shallow mass grave was discovered last week. 2 of the 44 bodies recovered have been identified. The bodies were found by a volunteer group of women, some who were searching for their own children who are still missing. But we still don't know why the bodies were buried in the desert area outside the popular resort town. Most of the remains are so decomposed, the only way to identify them is through DNA. The group has stopped their search for now, and the funeral homes in Rocky Point are at capacity. The Maricopa County Board of Supervisors have unanimously voted to suspend County Assessor Paul Peterson. The board approved the 120-day suspension without pay against Peterson. Peterson hasn't been working since he was arrested back on October 8th. He's now in Arkansas. Tuesday, he'll be in court facing federal charges related to an international adoption fraud scheme involving women from the Marshall Islands. Developing in California, at least 16 active fires raging across the state right now, prompting the governor there to declare a state of emergency. About 34 APS workers leaving our state to help utility crews handle the wildfire and electrical situation in that state. Arizona State Forestry also sent 120 firefighters and 34 engines this weekend to help.
Back in your forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Amber Sellens. Our big cool down is here. We dropped to the 70s today, and we'll be in the mid-70s tomorrow, too. Then another shot of cool air comes in. Breezy in the valley Wednesday, windy up north and out to the west, and temperatures dropping several more degrees. Down to 69 on Wednesday, lows in the 40s through the middle of the week. And Thursday for Halloween, a high of 74, with trick-or-treating temperatures in the 60s. Temperatures stay below normal throughout the entire work week, but for the weekend, we're back into the 80s.
Latest headlines, weather, and traffic. Visit ABC15.com or download our free ABC15 mobile app.
This ABC 15 News Update is sponsored by Sanderson Ford, America's best-selling Ford dealership.